Hello all, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much to all the new subscribers and the many more of you that there are to come. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Takoda Institute on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So some people might find this a little bit harsh, but my review is not a devaluing of anyone else's experiences with this institution. I am speaking for myself. And this is my review, and I do hope that people come across this and make an informed decision about whether or not they want to enter into this program based on someone else's experiences. But if you so disagree, or you had a different experience or whatever, feel free to make your own video. It's a free country and we have freedom of speech. So you go ahead and do you. But in the meantime, I'm going to do me. So first we're going to start off with the basics, and then we're going to work our way down into my experiences. Availability, their hours as far as I know are from 8 to 3 or 4, and they have a lot of programs, some of which are available a month apart from each other, like the programs that I took. They're every other month, but that's something every month, and they have a slew of other programs that somebody could enter into. So I would say that there's always something going on in the programs. They do also have adult basic education, and there is also a high school there. So I would say that they're quite readily available. Accessibility, in my, where I was in the building, I would say that it's quite accessible because a lot of the stuff can be moved out of the way. And I would say that the aisles are wide. I'm not sure how somebody in a wheelchair would get through some of those doors. I felt like the doors seemed pretty narrow, but then again, I'm not wheelchair bound, so I don't know how that would feel to someone else, but that is something to consider. Location, they're right on Cedar and Franklin, right next to the Blue Line, and the 67, and a few other bus stops, so I would say it's a great location. So now we're going to get into the issues that I personally encountered. It goes all the way back a few years ago when I very first heard about the program from Resource, which you may now know as Vivo. I called Takoda. Knowing myself, I called them about 3 times at different points in the day, and no one ever answered the phone, so I never went over there. And then later, back in September or October, someone at Hennepin County refers me to Takoda. And I say, hey, they never answer their phone. I don't really want to go over there if they don't answer their phone. And they said, yeah, knowing this was a problem. And then said I go over there and talk to them. So I went over there and talked to them in person. And I also looked at the website. After looking at the website, always look at the website first. And that led to my first review on Facebook of how they don't answer the phone, but I'm going to go over there anyway and see what they're talking about. That review got a reply. I don't remember exactly what it said, but that review is possibly still available on Facebook. I don't remember which account I posted under, but one account I deleted and the other one I deactivated. It's not deleted. So if I posted it under that account, that means it's still visible. So you can go see it for yourself. And the first program that I was in went kind of well. The, hang on a second. Employment and training developer got off to a very mixed start. Was so kind as to get us snacks and stuff. But then went on something about coffee and tea, and I was like, what? I mean, of course it's very inconsequential, but it's all about the first impression, you know? So I was like, But that's me personally. It's up for you to decide how your first impressions go. I'm talking about me, and I was like, So, the first training I went to for the excavator and the tool cat, those went great. The instructor on site was awesome. I told that person I don't know how to drive. They gave me extra patience and care, gave me a lot of room. It was great. I have those certificates. So between that and this next training that I'm about to talk about, I didn't receive the schedule for the next training after asking for it multiple times, and I have the emails to show that I asked for them. And I was told via phone call that the person didn't have the schedule in front of them, but then I also never received it via email. I ended up missing a class because I didn't know what the schedule was, and I could only assume that it was like the previous one. But before that, this person did my resume, and on my resume it has the name that I go by and my legal name, also my dead name. And when they contact me again about my resume, the person dead named me. There's no reason for that. The name that I go by is on the resume, and I never changed emails. And we've met. So there's no, that was a no. And then, after missing the class, I'm very disgruntled, as you can probably imagine. And I'm like, somebody tell me whomever supervisor is, because this is unacceptable. And I talk to this person, and I tell them about all of my concerns. And I feel like the person's reciprocating. And then at the end of the phone call, they say, I hope you feel better. I am not sick. And I've never received a response like that in complaining or filing my grievances, or however you want to put it. But here in Minnesota, they're not used to people having grievances without being personally offended. And I didn't even talk about the dead naming stuff. So I was like, you hope I feel better about what, dear? Like, what? You can tell that caught me off guard. If you know me, you know I was like, I hope you feel better. And so yeah, moving right along. And then I didn't miss anything, so I go do the skid steer training. Awesome, same person as it was last time, totally cool. I'm thinking we're gonna go back there. We do not. We get a different trainer who is not it. Not reciprocating, not taking criticism, not understanding cues or anything. I'm not going to doubt that this person hasn't been doing it for a long time. I'm probably just the first person to complain because I'm not from here. And so while we are in class, there are people saying that the instructor is moving too fast and they don't feel like they're getting the information. And the instructor insists on moving at the same pace so we can get out early, but it is on our schedule that we are supposed to be there until a certain time. And as long as we don't exceed that time, you're not really encroaching on anyone's things, because everyone in a perfect world should plan to be in class for the whole time. If we get out early, that's a bonus, but that shouldn't be an aim. And they're making it clear that they're disgruntled, and he's just like, I don't care, we're going to do this. And I'm like, if you're not a good student, you're not a good teacher. So those of us who pass the written part of this thing go to, we had the previous training before that. That didn't involve a test. That was fine. And I'm totally fine with the forklift involving a test, because forklift is actually a lot more complicated than people think it is. It is the more readily available job of the things that I've trained for, but the machine is quite dangerous. It can tip over very easily, so I'm fine with that. So, back to what I was saying. We go to do the physical part of the forklift training. I make it clear I have never driven before. Well, I can't say that, but I don't know how to drive. And the instructor gives me the same amount of instruction and space as the other students. I saw the problem with that, and I don't know why this person didn't. But I tried it, and things went awry. Obviously not terrible, I'm all in one piece, I'm not too traumatized to talk about it, but things went awry. I'm like, okay, can I go outside and drive this around? And at first they were like, how are you going to operate in a warehouse environment if we have to go outside and stuff? And I'm like, I just don't want a repeat of what just happened. So the other instructor let me go outside and drive it around very slowly. Of course, I was monitored. And I didn't do the physical test because I decided that wasn't for me. And for me, that's fine. So I told the person what happened, like, hey, this was not the thing. And they have decided to, very flowery worded, expel me because I told them what happened. And before they did that, in the part in which I told them what happened, I was like, who governs y'all so I can tell them about my experiences with you? And that question has yet to be answered. And a part of me doesn't really think it will. But it's not like I can't do my own research. And even if I never figure out who is above them or whatever standards or whatever's going on, I can still make this and get my word out to you so you can know what happened to me and you can make your own decision from there. Because there are a lot of people around here that do have issues with a person, place, or thing, but they don't say anything because either in the end they got what they wanted out of it, or people don't feel like they should complain because it's free, or it's just that Minnesotan passive aggressiveness where even if they do have a problem, and even if it's a very valid problem that needs to be discussed, they just won't because they don't want to address their feelings. I am not here to endorse any of that. Just because it's free doesn't mean it shouldn't get criticism and feedback. Never not tell somebody how you feel about something, and your experiences are important and valid, no matter what they are. I mean, there are definitely certain ways to address things, but there's only so much navigation you can do according to the situation. So that is all of my experiences with the Takoda Institute, Franklin Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you're still considering it, by all means, go to their website. And after I left that review, they started answering their phone. So you can give them a call. Because they might have something that works out for you. You may not have the same experiences that I did. I honestly hope that you don't, because that, for me, it was awful. And even though they made the statement of that, the feeling is obviously mutual. I am not interested in going back to Takoda. I will not suggest this program to anyone else. And by all means, if you have an experience, regardless of what it was, if you didn't leave it before, leave it now. Reviews don't expire. You can go to their Facebook page. I think they have a Yelp. And you can go to Facebook, Yelp, and Google Maps. Google Maps also reviews. And get your opinion out and get your word out, because every angle of addressing any issue is important. So that is all I have for right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for someone, and you have a great day. See ya.